Okay, so here's my flash drive. I'm gonna demonstrate how to load a program that we created in there on the computer. So I'm gonna put this into the little USB drive that we've got mounted on there, and it'll blink a few times, and then you'll get a window pop up here on the screen. And you just close that. I mean, you can use that if you want, but you close that. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and select this load file, and now I'm going to pick the iDrive, and when that little Windows message came up, it told me it was the iDrive. And so here, there's the file on the iDrive is that 4-inch square 1-inch whole.aks file, and I'm going to hit OK. And now to run it, we're going to go to Auto, and we're going to select, and so now we'll go down to 4-inch square 1-inch. There's a bunch of programs on here, but that happened to be the one that it's at the almost at the bottom of the first list there. And we're going to hit OK. And it also gave us a little picture of the part or the nest. So now what we need to enter is the cutting speed, so the feed rate. So we'll go to our cut chart, and for 11 gauge 1/8 inch 70 amp 170 amps, and that's already in there. And it's asking for our kerf. Now this is the width of the cut, or the diameter of the cut, and you can measure the cap, and that's a great starting point. It'll be within a couple thousandths, and I happen to know by experience that when I'm cutting 11 gauge with 70 amp, I'm going to use about a 65 to 70 thousandths kerf, so we'll just leave 70 in there, and we're good to go. The other thing we need to verify is that the torch height control is set correctly. So the arc voltage needs to be 116, the cutting height and the pierce height need to be 100 thousandths. So we'll go up here, we'll look at our torch height control. It's at 116 arc voltage and 100 thousandths pierce height and 100 thousandths cutting height. We can look at our motion delay for 1/8 inch, and we'll go over to our plasma. Now our plasma power supply, if I turn my oxygen on, the screen will come up and it's going to tell us what it's configured for. And it's already configured for mild steel, 0.134, so just basically 10 gauge, cutting, and 70 amps, and then down there is our delay of 100 thousandths, or 100 milliseconds. That's the value that I just got off the cut chart over there. So everything's set correctly there, and now we need to turn our plasma power supply on. So I'll pull the E-stop and press our button. And now you'll see we got all green lights, but the gas console is still adjusting its regulators. So when that gets done, you'll see the green light come on there and that little message go away. It purges out the lines going to the torch. Okay, now we got all green, we got the message gone. Now we need to make sure that we're positioned correctly. So what I did is, we're right on the edge of the sheet in Y, and we're lined up to the other part that I cut there. And I actually cut this part already, but I didn't have my video going. So we're going to cut another one. So everything looks good there. And so now let's go back over here. We can turn our dust collector on. I never did wire that over to a switch over here, but it would start automatically if I wired it in. So plasma power supply is good. Torch height control is good. We loaded our program. Now we can just hit cycle start. And when I do that, you'll see the change in the screen. And I didn't get it. And the torch is going to start moving, and cut the hole. And I should have tabbed it, but that's why you tab parts. They won't fall into the... So now the screen's back to normal. What I'm gonna do so I can get the part, I'm gonna raise the torch manually. And then I'm gonna go to manual here, and I'm gonna jog the machine out of the way. And so now I can shut the power supply off. I'll shut the oxygen off. Shut the dust collector off. And I'll retrieve the part here. Okay. There's the part. A little warm, but I can actually hold it. It cut so fast, didn't pick up a lot of heat. So we'll go measure it. Grab my flash drive, and that's it. I mean, that's how you load a program, run a program. It takes all of about less than a minute for me to bring a program out and get it running if I've got the right consumables in and everything. So let me see here. See if I can get the camera mounted so I can hold it. Yeah, maybe I'll just try to hold it. So we're about 4 inches and 11 thousandths. And we'll turn it. Yeah, about 9 thousandths, 10 thousandths, real square. This is supposed to be a 1-inch hole. If I can move it. That's just get down in there. So about 4 thousandths under. Now, that kerf number that we put in the control out there, if you wanted to get it closer, what you would do is adjust that by a couple thousandths and cut another part. So here's the bottom side. You can see a little bit of dross around the hole and at the corners. Wherever the plasma changes speed, you're going to get a little dross, and it has to slow down in the corners and everything. But it's very clean, good quality cut. That's where the pierce was right there, and I think I tabbed it, but I didn't tab it enough. That's why it fell in the tank. But that's how you go about cutting apart.